Anthony Marshall. Abstract. Anthony Jordan Marshall. French pronunciation. Born the 5th of December 1995. Is a French professional footballer who plays as a forward for English club Manchester United and the France national team this year. He was the recipient of the 2015 Golden Boy Award for the best under-21 player in Europe, playing youth football for Les Ulis. He began his professional career at Lyon, then transferred to AS Monaco in 2013 for a fee of €6 million. He was a member of Monaco's squad for 2 seasons, and signed for Manchester United in 2015 for an initial fee of £36 million, which could potentially rise to £57.6 million. This was the highest fee paid for a teenager in football history, even before the potential increase. He scored in his first match for United, and was named the Premier League Player of the Month in his first month in English football. A youth international for France from under-16 to under-21 level. Marshall made his senior debut in 2015. He was named in their squad for UEFA Euro 2016. Club career. Born in Massy, Essonne, Marshall spent his youth years with Paris-based CO Les Ulis from 2001. The same team who produced French internationals Thierry Henry and Patrice Evra. Evra closely monitored the progress of Marshall, and allowed him to play in one of his pairs of football boots at the age of 12. At the same age, Marshall trialled at Manchester City. At just 14 years old in 2009 he was spotted by scouts from the Olympique Lyonnais Academy and joined it the same year. During his second season in the under-17 team he distinguished himself by scoring 32 goals in 21 games, which resulted in a call-up to the France national under-17 football team for the 2012 UEFA European Under-17 Championship in Slovenia. He made his professional debut for Lyon on 6 December 2012. In a Europa League group stage match against Hapoel Kiryat Shmona, replacing goalscorer Yassine Benzia for the final 10 minutes of a 2-0 victory at the Stade de Jalon. His first League One game was on 3 February 2013 against Ajaccio, when he came on as a substitute in the 79th minute for Rachid Ghezal in a 3-1 away loss. He made 2 further appearances from the bench that season. On 30 June 2013, AS Monaco announced they had signed Marshall to a 3-year contract for a fee of €5 million plus bonuses. On 24 November, he made his first league appearance for the club at the age of 17, replacing Radamel Falcao after 63 minutes and playing a part in Mounir Abdi's goal which gave victory away to FC Nantes. He scored his first goal for the Principality club on his first start, a 2-0 win over Rennes at the Stade Louis II 6 days later. His campaign was disrupted by a sprained ankle against Valenciennes in December. On 27 January 2014, he extended his contract until June 2018. In his second season at Monaco, Marshall scored 9 goals in 36 League One games, starting on 5 October 2014 when as a substitute for Lucas Ocampos. He gained a 1-1 draw at reigning champions Paris Saint-Germain with a last-minute strike from close range. He scored twice against a 10-man Bastia on 13 March 2015 in a 3-0 home victory. On 26 June, he further extended his link with the team until 2019. On 4 August 2015, Marshall scored his first goal in European competition, in a 4-0 home win over BSC Young Boys in the third qualifying round of the UEFA Champions League. Monaco advanced 7-1 on aggregate. On the 1st of September 2015, Marshall completed a move to Manchester United for £36 million, potentially rising to £58 million, on a 4-year contract with the option of another year. This was the highest transfer fee paid for a teenager, breaking the previous record of £27 million United paid for Luke Shaw a year earlier, and that Paris Saint-Germain had paid for Marquinhos in 2013. United paid £36 million up front for Marshall, but his contract contains 3 bonus clauses worth £7.2 million each, taking the potential fee to £57.6 million. The clauses each relate to certain accomplishments being achieved in the next 4 years, including if Marshall scores 25 goals during that span, racks up 25 caps for France, or wins the Ballon d'Or before June 2019. Manager Louis van Gaal called Marshall an acquisition for United's future rather than for immediate use, and called the transfer fee ridiculous, alleging that Manchester United regularly had to pay £10 million more than other teams. Upon signing, Marshall said, "I'm so excited to join United. I have always wanted to play in the Premier League, and to join the biggest club in the world is what every young footballer dreams of," Van Gaal stated. Anthony is a naturally talented, young, multifunctional forward with great potential. I believe this is the club for him to continue his development. The fee was reportedly met with astonishment by the French public. Marshall made his debut at Old Trafford on the 12th of September as a 65th-minute substitute for Juan Mata, and scored the final goal of a 3-1 win over rivals Liverpool. Van Gaal called it a marvellous goal. 8 days later, in his first Premier League start, he scored twice in an away win, 3-2 at Southampton. On the 23rd of September, again as a replacement for Mata, Marshall scored his 4th goal in 4 games for his new club, concluding a 3-0 win over Ipswich Town in the 3rd round of the League Cup. Marshall's early impact was praised by former United manager Sir Alex Ferguson, who stated that he can do anything. Marshall won his first individual honour at United as he picked up the PFA Fans Player of the Month for September, in which he notched up 3 goals from 2 matches. A few days later, he gained his 2nd trophy at United, as his strike against Liverpool earned him the club's Goal of the Month for September. He was also named Premier League Player of the Month for September, the 3rd youngest player to receive the award after Micah Richards and Michael Owen. On the 21st of October, in a Champions League group stage match away to CSKA Moscow, Marshall gave away a penalty, which David De Gea saved from Roman Eremenko, and later equalized to confirm a 1-1 draw. He was awarded the Golden Boy as Europe's best under-21 player on the 19th of December. Marshall was key in a 2-1 win against Everton in the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley Stadium on 23 April 2016. He assisted the first goal by Marwan Fellaini and scored an added-time winner. He finished the season as the club's top scorer in both the league and overall competitions with 11 goals and 17 goals respectively. Marshall retained his starting berth at Manchester United under new manager Jose Mourinho, starting ahead of informed teammate Marcus Rashford on the left wing for the opening few games of the season. The forward, however, lost his place in the starting lineup after several underwhelming performances, with the club tentatively attributing Marshall's difficulties to ongoing problems in his personal life. Nevertheless, on the 2nd of October 2016, Marshall came off the bench at Old Trafford to score United's only goal, his first of the new season, against Stoke City, a game that ended in a 1-1 draw. On the 30th of November 2016, Marshall was recalled to the side to face West Ham in the EFL Cup after receiving warnings about his starting spot in previous weeks from manager Jose Mourinho. He responded by scoring 2 goals in a 4-1 win to send United into the semi-final of the competition, being in and out of the team for a couple of months. Marshall was rumoured to leave Manchester United in the summer, but on the 6th of February he made it clear on his official Twitter account, tweeting, "The papers are wrong, don't listen to them." Marshall returned to the starting lineup against Watford at Old Trafford on the 11th of February by providing an assist to Juan Mata and later scoring a goal for himself in the 60th minute. He was later declared the man of the match. On the 26th of February, he was named in the starting 11 that faced Southampton at Wembley Stadium for the 2017 EFL Cup final, which United won 3-2. The victory earned Marshall his third piece of silverware for United. In May, he won the first European trophy of his career, coming on as a substitute in the 2017 UEFA Europa League final. After a successful spell for Manchester United towards the end of last season, winning the League Cup and Europa League, Marshall started the season as a substitute for most matches. Despite this, Marshall managed to score from the bench in United's first 2 league matches against West Ham United and Swansea City, and again later against Everton, with all 3 matches ending in a 4-0 win for United. Marshall's first start of the season came on the 20th of September in a 4-1 win over Burton-upon-Trent in their League Cup, in which he also scored. Marshall repeated this a week later in the Champions League, scoring in a 4-1 win over CSKA Moscow. In October, Marshall scored United's only goal in their win over Tottenham, and again in November against Watford and Newcastle United. In January, Marshall scored again against Everton away, scored against Stoke City and provided the winning goal against Burnley. However, following the January transfer season, Marshall began to fall out of favour following the signing of Chilean forward Alexis Sanchez on 22 January. A lack of game time saw Marshall fail to produce another goal for the club all season. Because of this, there was heavy speculation that Marshall would leave Manchester United during the summer transfer season. Marshall made his first competitive appearance for Manchester United's 18-19 season in their 3-2 loss to Brighton in the Premier League. Through August and September, Marshall made 3 other substitute appearances in the Premier League until the September's final game against West Ham United saw him make the starting 11. However, 2 weeks prior saw Marshall start in Manchester United's Champions League opener and score his first goal of the season in a 3-0 win against Young Boys of Bern. Marshall's first league goal came in a 3-2 comeback against Newcastle United, where he also started. After that match, Marshall started and scored in every Premier League game up to the November international break, scoring against Bournemouth, Everton, 2 goals against Chelsea, and a penalty goal in the Manchester derby. This spell of goal scoring saw Marshall become one of 7 players to have scored in 5 consecutive league games for Manchester United. Marshall also won Manchester United's October Player of the Month award. On the 24th of November, Marshall started in United's goalless draw with Crystal Palace, playing the full 90 minutes. This came after speculation that he would miss the game due to an injury pickup on international duty. Marshall also played the full 90 minutes against Champions League opponents Young Boys, which United won 1-0, securing their place in the knockout stage. After missing United's tie with Southampton, Marshall played in the club's home game against Arsenal, in which he scored his 8th goal of the season, with the match ending in a 2-2 draw. On the 17th of December 2018, United triggered an option to extend Marshall's contract that would keep him at the club until 2020. On the 22nd of December, under new manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Marshall scored his 9th of the season in a 5-1 victory over Cardiff City. On the 25th of January 2019, Marshall scored Manchester United's 3rd goal in a 3-1 win over Arsenal in the FA Cup 4th round. It was his first goal of 2019 and his 10th of the season. On the 31st of January 2019, Marshall signed a new 5-year contract with Manchester United. On the 9th of February, Marshall assisted Paul Pogba's opener before scoring United's 2nd goal in a 3-0 win over Fulham this year. On the 10th of March, Marshall returned as a substitute against Arsenal after sustaining an injury against PSG a month prior. Later that month he scored the 2nd goal in a 2-1 win over Watford. Marshall began the 2019-20 Premier League season by starting and scoring Manchester United's 2nd goal in a 4-0 victory over Chelsea at Old Trafford. He also scored in United's 2nd match, a 1-1 draw away against Wolverhampton Wanderers on the 19th of August 2019. On his first start since returning from injury in August, Marshall scored the winning penalty against Partizan Belgrade in late October, before scoring against Norwich City in a 3-1 victory the following weekend. International career: Marshall scored 5 goals as France topped their qualification group for the 2012 UEFA European Under-17 Championship. 2 goals in a 5-0 win over the Faroe Islands, and a hat-trick against Northern Ireland in Luxembourg. He added 2 more in elite round victories against Switzerland and Sweden to confirm qualification. He netted once in a group stage exit at the final tournament in Slovenia. A 2-2 opening game draw with Iceland at the Domžale Sports Park. Marshall played all 5 games for France under-19 at the 2013 European Championship in Lithuania, finishing as runners-up to Serbia. He was one of 5 Frenchmen selected in the team of the tournament. On the 26th of August 2015, Marshall was called up to the senior France squad for the first time for friendlies against Portugal and Serbia in the following month. He made his debut in the former on the 4th of September at Lisbon's Estadio José Alvalade, replacing Karim Benzema for the final 16 minutes of a 1-0 win. On the 11th of October, Marshall made his first start for Les Bleus in a 2-1 win against Denmark at Parken Stadium, Copenhagen, and assisted the opening goal by Olivier Giroud. Due to Marshall performances in the 2015-2016 season with Manchester United, he earned a spot on France's 23-man squad for Euro 2016, in which France were the tournament runners-up. On the 17th of May 2018, Marshall was named on the standby list for the 23-man French squad for the 2018 World Cup in Russia. However, he did not make the final squad for the tournament, which saw France as champions for the 2nd time. Style of play: Aziz Benaradane, one of Marshall's coaches at Les Ulis, told the BBC Sport in 2015 that as a 6-year-old, Marshall was able to run in a straight line to the goal. "We've got 400 youngsters playing for us, but a talent like that arrives only once every 5 or 6 years. We felt it. We saw the potential and we pushed him." Mamadou Niakite, another coach, added that Marshall was put in higher age groups, as at the age of 6 he had the ability of most 8-year-olds, and at around the age of 12 to 13 he was focused on becoming a professional. According to journalist Philippe Auclair, Martial plays in a style similar to former French international Thierry Henry, with speed and technical ability both in wide positions and up front. Henry himself praised Martial after his goal-scoring debut, while Martial himself refuted the comparison, saying, "I don't think we have the same type of game. He was very quick whereas I rely more on power and technique. But it's always good to be compared to great players." In the aftermath of France's 2-1 win over Denmark in October 2015, Fenerbahce defender Simon Kjaer was reportedly stunned after playing against him to learn that Martial was just 19. He told French newspaper L'Equipe, "He's really good for 19. I didn't know him when I was in France. He's very, very hard to mark because he knows how to do a lot of things. Not only is he quick, but he's also technically good." Martial, for his part, has said that he prefers to play up front, but that, if the coach puts me on the wing then that means it is better for the team and for me. That is the most important thing. Personal life. Martial is of Guadeloupean descent. His older brother, Johan, is a professional defender for Greek club Panathinaikos, who represented France up to under-20 level. He has another older brother, Dorian, who is in the senior team at Les Ulis. The Martial family placed high emphasis on the education of their children. His youth coaches describe him as a shy and quiet person. Martial is a Roman Catholic. Honours: Manchester United France U19 France.